All right, get ready, because today we're going deep into the world of Frank Lavagna,
Frank
a
Lavinia.
data scientist and total AI enthusiast.
Yeah, you could say that.
We've got something pretty cool to work with here. Um, a recording of Frank Cava live streaming.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
all his thoughts and projects,
Wow.
all sorts of platforms, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, even Twitch.
So it's like we're really getting a behind the scenes look at
Exactly.
how he thinks about AI and approaches these
It's like
topics.
we're right there in his head.
Yeah,
And
awesome.
we're going to uncover some really interesting stuff today.
Can't wait.
Frank's journey as a YouTuber,
Right.
his experiments with AI-generated videos. He even made a SpongeBob explainer, which we'll talk about later, and his take on whether this whole AI boom is just another dot-com bubble.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, is it pets.com all over again?
I mean, that's a question everyone's asking, right?
You right?
It's like, are we all getting caught up in the hype?
Exactly. And Frank's insights are super valuable for anyone who's interested in AI, whether you're investing time, money,
Yeah.
or even just attention.
You got to pay attention to this stuff.
So let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
Frank starts off celebrating 12 years on YouTube.
12 years. Wow.
And he recently hit 1,500 subscribers.
That's a pretty big milestone.
It is. You might be thinking, okay, that's cool for Frank, but what does this have to do with me?
Right. What's the takeaway?
But stick with me here.
Yeah.
Because this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Frank's evolution as a creator actually mirrors how YouTube itself has changed over the years.
No, that's a good point.
Think about it, how many of us really sit down and watch those long-form videos anymore?
Not many, to be honest.
Right.
Short and sweet. That's the trend.
Exactly. Short-form content is king now. And Frank was actually resistant to that at first.
Really?
Yeah, he even admits he thought short videos were just a fad.
Oh, wow.
But then he starts experimenting with these AI-generated shorts.
Interesting.
He even made one with a SpongeBob voice.
What? No way.
Yeah, to explain aragi, which is a way to pull information from all these different sources using AI.
Okay, I know that is clever.
Right. It's pretty brilliant.
It's definitely a sign of the times, right?
Absolutely. It shows Frank's willingness to adapt and use AI to stay relevant.
Yeah, and it raises a big question for all of us.
For sure.
As AI tools get even more powerful, are we going to see more and more content created this way?
And what happens to the human element?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Exactly.
Right.
So Frank's not just playing around with YouTube, though.
Okay, what else is he up to?
He's got a podcast called Data Driven,
Catchy title.
and it just got nominated as one of the top 100 AI podcasts.
Wow, that's impressive.
I know, right? And it came in at number 38.
Out of 100, that's huge.
It is, especially considering how many podcasts are out there these days.
You can't even keep track.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So it shows there's a real appetite for AI content.
Definitely.
And Frank's tapped right into that.
He's riding the wave.
And in the middle of all this success, Frank takes a moment to talk about his gratitude practice.
Gratitude practice.
Yeah, he even says it helps him stay grounded amidst the chaos of the tech world.
That's interesting.
It's like he's saying, hey, even with all this crazy AI stuff going on, it's important to stay human.
I love that perspective.
It's a good reminder.
Right? For sure. Especially now with everything happening in the industry.
It can feel overwhelming.
Absolutely.
And speaking of overwhelming, Frank brings up the dot-com bubble
Oh, here we go.
and how everyone was scrambling to monetize anything back then.
It was a wild time, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, he sees some parallels with the current AI boom.
I mean, you can see it, right? The hype, the investment.
Yeah, remember those Super Bowl ads for companies like pets.com?
Oh, yeah. Millions poured into them.
But did they offer any real lasting value?
Not really. They vanished pretty quickly.
Exactly. And Frank's point is, don't get caught up in the hype.
Yeah.
Look for real value, just like you would with any investment.
Solid advice.
And for him, a big part of that future is open source AI.
Open source AI. Interesting.
Yeah, he even made, you guessed it, another SpongeBob video about it.
This guy loves SpongeBob.
He does. And he believes open source is the key to making AI accessible to everyone
Okay. I see where he's going with this.
and fostering innovation.
It's a powerful idea.
It is. It's a really interesting point because if you think about it, open source AI has the potential to democratize access to these incredibly powerful tools.
Yeah, it could level the playing field.
Exactly. It could be a game changer.
But there are definitely different perspectives on this.
Oh, for sure.
Some people argue that proprietary models are essential for driving advancement.
Right. It's a complex issue.
No easy answers.
But Frank's clearly passionate about open source and sees it as the way forward.
You can tell he believes in it.
So he then takes us back to his early days on YouTube.
Oh, A little trip down memory lane.
Yeah, and this project he called Frank's World TV, where he was trying to create these more elaborate pre-recorded videos.
Like a mini TV show.
Kind of, but it didn't really click with him.
It happens. You got to try things out.
It's all part of the process, right?
Yeah, finding your voice as a creator.
And that's where things take a hilarious turn.
Oh, I love a good story.
Frank shares this story about hosting developer sessions at a Microsoft store.
A Microsoft store.
In a pre-pandemic mall.
Remember those?
I know, right?
The good old days.
He was trying to promote these Windows 8 apps.
Windows 8, that takes me back.
But he just wasn't feeling it.
And it showed on camera.
Oh yeah, he even jokes that not everyone who walks into a mall wants to learn how to code.
True, not exactly a captive audience.
Not at all. And you can practically feel his pain as he's describing the situation.
I can imagine. That's got to be tough.
But these experiences, even the awkward ones, they shape us.
Absolutely, you learn from everything.
And get this, he actually got pushback from his leadership.
Really?
For suggesting that video would be a more effective way to reach people.
Oh, the irony.
Look at him now, right? Successful YouTube channel, top-rated podcast.
It's a good reminder to trust your gut.
Absolutely. He knew video was the future.
He was ahead of the curve.
Frank ultimately realized that his strength was in live streaming.
Where he could just be himself.
Exactly, that authentic ad hoc approach.
It's what people connect with.
And that brings us to his current fascination with NotebookLM.
NotebookLM.
It's this AI tool that's got him really excited.
Okay, what's so special about it?
He's even using it to analyze his own podcast and a book he's reading.
Wow, he's really diving deep.
I know, we've covered a lot in this first part of our deep dive with Frank.
We have. It's been a whirlwind.
We've explored his journey as a creator.
His evolution.
His passion for open source AI.
And that great analogy with the .com bubble.
Right. And he even threw in a gratitude practice for good measure.
It's a good reminder for all of us.
It is. So in the next part, we'll delve deeper into Frank's experiences with NotebookLM.
I'm excited to learn more.
And what it means for the future of content creation.
That's the big question.
We'll also explore his gratitude practice in more detail.
How to stay grounded in this crazy tech world.
Stay tuned. I'm hooked.
Welcome back to our deep dive with Frank.
Frank Lavinia, the AI guru.
If you missed part 1, go back and check it out. We covered so much ground.
We did. He's such a fascinating guy.
Before we took a break, we were talking about NotebookLM.
Right, that new AI tool he's so excited about.
It's like he found another toy in his AI playground.
And Frank's the kind of person who just loves to experiment.
Always pushing the boundaries.
Which brings us back to something we talked about before.
Finding his voice as a creator.
Right, remember Frank's World TV?
That's right. He tried to create these super polished, almost cinematic style videos.
Like a mini movie almost.
He even mentioned being inspired by this YouTube channel called Film Riot.
I've seen that one. Very cool stuff.
It's interesting, though, how he was inspired by others, but ultimately realized it wasn't his style.
Yeah, it's like trying on different hats.
You gotta find the one that fits just right. Exactly, and that's such an important lesson for anyone creating content.
Whether it's videos, podcasts,
even just presentations at work.
Authenticity is key.
People can tell when you're being genuine.
And sometimes those aha moments come from unexpected places.
Like Frank's story about those developer sessions at the Microsoft store.
Oh, man, that was hilarious.
He talked about feeling so frustrated and uninspired.
And it totally came across in those videos.
He even joked that not everyone who walks into a mall wants to learn how to code.
So true. You could practically feel his pain as he was describing the situation.
It's those awkward experiences that shape us, though.
Totally. You learn from everything. And get this. He actually got pushback from his leadership.
No way.
For suggesting that video would be a more effective way to reach a wider audience.
Oh, the irony.
Right. Look at him now.
Successful YouTube channel, top-rated podcast.
It just shows you how visionaries often see things others don't.
They're ahead of the curve.
And Frank's early experiences with video, even the frustrating ones, really helped solidify his belief in its power.
And ultimately led him to embrace live streaming.
Full circle moment.
Absolutely.
And through all of this, his passion for AI has been a constant.
He really sees it as this transformative force.
And he truly believes that open source AI is the key to unlocking its full potential.
It's like he's saying, let's make this incredible technology available to everyone.
Not just a select few.
That's a powerful message, especially when you consider the potential impact of AI on society.
And it's not just talk. He's putting his money where his mouth is.
I remember that SpongeBob video he made about open source.
Oh, of course. Classic Frank.
He's walking the walk.
Using his platform to make complex topics understandable and engaging.
He's a natural communicator.
Now let's switch gears for a second.
Okay, where are we going?
And talk about something that might seem unrelated to AI,
Should be good.
but it's actually incredibly relevant.
I'm all ears.
Gratitude.
Gratitude.
Yeah. Frank shared how a former colleague inspired him to start a gratitude practice,
That's interesting.
and he's found it to be a game changer.
Especially in the face of all the chaos in the tech world.
Exactly. He even admitted to finding his former colleague's 1,000 Days of Gratitude project annoying at first.
That's relatable. I think a lot of us would have that initial reaction.
Right, but Frank's point is that gratitude isn't just about feeling good,
It's about shifting your perspective,
finding peace amidst the storm.
which the tech world definitely can feel like sometimes.
Totally. Frank even mentioned how crazy 2025 has been already.
It's been a wild ride.
He even brought up DeepSeek and how it's kind of shaken things up.
Right, remember what we were talking about earlier with all the hype and investment in AI?
Yeah, DeepSeek is a perfect example of how quickly things can change.
Companies can rise and fall seemingly overnight.
And Frank's gratitude practice is a valuable lesson here.
Amidst all the volatility, find your anchor.
Don't get swept up in the frenzy.
Take a moment to appreciate the good, stay grounded,
Make clear-headed decisions,
which, let's be honest, is easier said than done.
especially when you're caught up in all the excitement of the latest AI breakthrough.
It's easy to get lost in the hype cycle.
But Frank's gratitude practice reminds us to slow down,
To appreciate what we have.
approach things with a sense of calm and clarity.
That's a great message.
It also ties in really well with what he said earlier about making mindful choices when it comes to AI.
Right, it's not just about jumping on the latest trend.
It's about understanding the long-term implications and making decisions that align with your values.
Being a conscious consumer of AI.
Exactly.
Which brings us back to NotebookLM.
And its potential to change how we interact with information.
A powerful tool.
It's like he's saying, here's something that can help you make sense of this complex world.
Ask better questions, generate new insights.
And that's where things get really exciting.
Because if we can use AI to not only create content, but also analyze it, to understand it on a deeper level,
We're entering a whole new era of knowledge and understanding.
it's like having an AI-powered research assistant at your fingertips.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, keep Frank's message in mind.
Be curious, be mindful, and don't be afraid to experiment.
And find your own voice.
And remember, even with all the rapid technological advancement,
Don't forget the human element.
take a moment to appreciate the simple things. Cultivate gratitude.
Approach the future with a sense of wonder and possibility.
That's great advice.
Now, in our final part, we'll dig into Frank's comparison of the AI boom to the dot-com bubble
That's a good one. I'm looking forward to that.
and what it all means for us.
The big picture stuff.
Stay tuned.
Ah!
And we're back for the final part of our deep dive with Frank Lavinia.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. We've learned so much about his approach to AI, his evolution as a content creator.
And even his personal philosophy.
Speaking of which, remember that comparison he made between the current AI boom and the dot-com bubble?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Let's unpack that a bit, because I think it's on a lot of people's minds.
It's a valid concern, right? Are we all just caught up in the hype?
Exactly. Remember those Super Bowl ads for companies like Pets.com?
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Everyone thought they were going to change the world.
But very few had a sustainable business model.
And Frank's basically saying, don't get caught up in the hype.
Look beyond the headlines.
Ask yourself, does this AI solution actually solve a real problem?
Does it offer genuine value?
It's about separating the wheat from the chaff.
Just like with the dot-com bubble.
A few companies survived and thrived.
The rest, well.
They vanished.
So how do we avoid making the same mistakes with AI?
That's the million-dollar question.
And for Frank, a key factor is open source AI.
Remember that SpongeBob video he made about it?
Yeah, he's really passionate about it.
He believes it's essential for making this technology accessible to everyone.
It's a fascinating debate.
It is, because some people argue that proprietary models are necessary to drive innovation.
They want to protect their intellectual property.
Right, while others say that open source fosters collaboration and democratizes access.
That's a complex issue with valid points on both sides.
But Frank's advocacy for open source really aligns with his whole philosophy.
Of sharing knowledge and empowering others.
We've seen that throughout his journey.
From his early days on YouTube trying out different content formats.
To his current fascination with NotebookLM.
He's always looking for ways to leverage AI to make information more accessible and engaging.
And speaking of NotebookLM, it sounds like he's really gone deep with this tool.
He's using it to analyze his podcast, a book he's reading.
It's like he's showing us the potential of AI to not just create content, but to actually interact with it on a deeper level.
Imagine being able to have a conversation with a book.
Ask it questions and get insightful responses.
It's mind-blowing.
It has the potential to change how we learn, research, even think.
It's like having an AI-powered research assistant in your pocket.
And Frank's enthusiasm for NotebookLM is contagious.
He's not just talking about AI, he's living it.
Showing us what's possible.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Frank's world,
let's recap some key takeaways.
Number 1, don't get caught up in the hype.
Approach AI with a critical eye.
Ask yourself, does this offer genuine value? Will it stand the test of time?
Number 2, embrace open source.
Explore the tools and resources that are out there.
See how you can use them to enhance your own work and learning.
And finally, remember the importance of gratitude.
As the world changes at an unprecedented pace,
Take a moment to appreciate the good.
ground yourself.
Approach the future with a sense of wonder and possibility.
Frank's story is a great example of how to navigate the exciting world of AI.
He's shown us the power of authenticity, the importance of open source.
And the need to stay grounded amidst the chaos.
So as you continue your own exploration of AI, remember Frank's lessons.
Be curious, be mindful, and don't be afraid to experiment.
You find your own voice.
Who knows, maybe you'll be the next Frank Lavini, inspiring others with your passion and insights.
That's a great goal to strive for.
And on that note, thanks for joining us on this incredible deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time.